Speaker.
Alistair Scott, a five-minute call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and what a fabulous budget we are debating this evening. Mr Speaker, the budget is targeted investment that focuses on results, and that is the difference between this side and the other side. I'll give you a couple of examples. $2.2 billion into health. It's not just thrown about, it's targeted. There's more money in Pharmac, for example. Melanoma treatments, hepatitis C treatments affecting 50,000 Kiwis. That is targeted investment. Colon cancer program, targeted investment, and Wairarapa being one of the first DHBs to receive that program, very appreciative of representing the Wairarapa, very appreciative that we in the Wairarapa are the first to see that program. Targeted investment in education. We don't just throw more money at education, we focus it on those most in need. So there's $43 million going to follow kids who are most at need. Not necessarily decile 1, 2 or 3, but focused on the kids that we know are at risk. Mr Speaker, there's targeted investment in the social investment program that we talk about, understanding what creates the dysfunction in the family and investing in the cause of the dysfunction. And Minister Tolley is doing a fabulous job at focusing investment in that area. Now, none of this can be achieved without a strong economy, and that is what we've got. We've got an economy that's growing at about 3% per annum, one of the strongest growing in the OECD and comparable countries on the planet. More jobs, higher wages, 200,000 new jobs being created, 170,000 due to be created in the next few years. Forecast surpluses and quite reasonable size, good size surpluses in the sort of 18, 19 years. More resources available to be invested in the targeted fashion that I referred to. And of course, Kiwis are voting with their feet. As mentioned by my colleague Matt Ducey, Kiwis are voting with their feet. They're staying because things are in good shape. And what have we heard from the other side? What have we heard? Well, we've heard more of a gunshot approach. In fact, we haven't even heard of a gunshot approach, really. They haven't regurgitated the tertiary education. Well, where was the tertiary education policy? Why didn't you repeat your tertiary education policy that you talked about, that the opposition talked about previously, where everyone gets a free education, where everyone turns up and rolls up and says, get on board, here's a free ride. Now, then there's the universal benefit idea. That's the idea where you can all the benefits, cancel everything, throw out the working for families credits, and everyone gets $11,000. Everyone. And then there's the housing program. 100,000 houses are just going to turn up because of the Labor Party policy. 100,000 houses is just going to turn up out of nowhere. And who's going to pay for that? Have a guess at how much 100,000 houses would cost at $500,000 each. Do your numbers. That's a $50 billion work program. And who's going to pay for all this gunshot proposals, gunshot policies? The taxpayer. The taxpayer. You forget about the taxpayer. Those guys over that side forget about the taxpayer. But instead of having any half-decent policy, what do? What do they say? They throw up a little distraction. They say they've got a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend. They've got a nice little relationship, and that's their announcement as far as a policy from the Labor Party. Disappointing. It's going to be hamstringing the Labor Party because those people in the far left of this House, those people in the far left, physically that's where they are going to be pulling the Labor Party towards them. Those policies of the far left are going to be wagging the dog that is or should be the Labor Party's, unfortunately. So, Mr Speaker, this country's in good shape. The budget is a fine one, and I commend it to the House.
I call Jenny